Yeah, it's us again. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, Glow Sun Production proudly brings to you its best, brightest, and blackest combat review show there is on YouTube or anywhere else. This is We Talk Combat, so we talk all things combat, sports, and sports entertainment. I am 1/4 of your host. I go by the name of Muy Grande Negro Americano. I'm joined by my other co-host. Firstly, is my baby girl Queen. Chemo Queen up there, Queen of the Ring 86. How are you today, babe?
I can't complain. We had a WrestleMania weekend, but also we had our anniversary yesterday. So
We did.
it's been a good weekend. Can't complain. And yourself?
I'm great. Happy anniversary to you, babe. Next up,
Thank
we
you.
have my guy, the final Hugo boss over there. That's Travis. What up, bro?
How y'all doing? Yeah,
Oh, you phony.
just
I'm
tiresome a little bit. Look, I ain't got no energy, man. I just got off a little tiresome. But I'm here on the computer with y'all, so
I feel you. And lastly, we have my guy driving safely, heavy developmental, Mr. Green. How you today, bro? Or not, I guess. I hope you didn't crash or nothing like that. Hope you good, bro. But I guess I'll keep it moving. I guess, but if you're new around here, do me a favor, do all of us a favor, hit the subscribe button somewhere near Mr. Green's left shoulder down there. It would be. Also hit the notification bell, hit the subscribe button, like button, all that mumbo jumbo. It helps us out a lot. Let other folks know that we do this on a regular. We're supposed to do these shows on Sunday afternoons, but we did a live watch along for WrestleMania and all. We weren't able to do anything, so we finally got the chance to do this. So this will not include last night's Raw episode, but it will be from everything from last week's Raw episode until WrestleMania Night 2 as far as a review and a recap. The way we do this show, we have our highs and lows first. We basically give our main talking points about the week of WWE, including TNA and AAA, as well as the PLEs. We give a letter grade as far as the week, and then we get to some wrestling tea if there's some news. And then lastly, we get to your questions and comments. So if you have any questions or comments directed towards myself, Queen, Travis, or Mr. Green, hit us up with the @ WTC in the comments so we know you're talking to us and not your fellow Glow Yard mates. Welcome to the Glow Yard. We'll get right into the show. And with that being said, let's get to our highs and lows. What up? All right, y'all. Another week of WWE product. Start off with Monday Night Raw last week. We had our guy Obahu, along with Brock Lesnar, go ahead and sign their contracts one by one throughout the show before their match occurred at WrestleMania. We'll get into that and more. On NXT, shout out to Lola Vice retaining her NXT Women's Championship against JC Jane last week. We'll talk about that and more. On Evolve, we had Madam Wendy Chu becoming the new Evolve Women's Champion. So we'll talk about that and more. Thursday on Impact, we had the System defeat Moose and Leon Slater and Cedric the Entertainer. Cedric Alexander got another pinfall over Leon Slater, so that's twice now he's been the X Division champion. So we'll get into that and more. On SmackDown, shout out to Trick. He brought the gingerbread man out there and was in the ring with two gingerbread men, as you see right here, for a promo with Sami Zayn before they had their battle at WrestleMania as well. On AAA, it was a singles match between which one of them War Raiders is it, Travis? I don't know their names.
that is
that Ivan?
That is Ivar.
Ivar, whatever. Okay, Ivar versus what is it? Psycho Clown in a one-on-one match, and we'll get into that and more. And WrestleMania. Let's see. Should I wait for WrestleMania? Let's wait for WrestleMania. I'm gonna wait for WrestleMania. We're gonna go through this first, then we go to WrestleMania Night 1, and we'll also get to WrestleMania Night 2. But first and foremost, Queen, we'll start with you, babe. What were your highs and lows of this week's WWE product, not including the weekend as far as Mania and all, up to AAA? And what is your overall letter grade?
So, as I said The week of wrestling actually was pretty decent, even if you included WrestleMania. But we'll talk about the main shows of the week. Well, Monday was kind of still like more of the back and forth of Roman and CM Punk. Them talking about the building up to the WrestleMania, and we had Oba finally signed his part of the contract. And what you can see there, though, especially in this picture, is that Paul this time is I think a lot of people have forgotten this, but a lot of the people that already came in, to be honest, were Vince guys. So I feel like this is the beginning of Triple H starting to, I guess, formulate the Triple H guys. As people will eventually call it years from now. So I think Oba being one of those. So obviously he's put the rocket on Oba and Trick's back, but Oba has gotten a lot of love from the crowd as well as from everybody else. So overall, this segment was great. No complaints. Now, no offense though, the matches weren't really overly memorable for me on Monday. So to be honest, can't even remember half of them. They just weren't memorable to me. But I do just remember that the show just wasn't terrible. Moving on, Tuesday we had NXT, as you said. Uh, let's see, we got JC Jane and them, all that stuff going on. If I recall correctly, too, we saw some of the people from Evolve pop out as well that have finally moved up. So they moved up from Evolve to NXT. And as everybody knows, the people from NXT usually either go TNA or they go straight to the big brand. Um, so yeah, wasn't really much to talk about with that. It was interesting enough. I didn't get to see some of my favorite people, but you know, it was all right. Everybody was just really like kind of just ready to get towards WrestleMania. Even the commentators were talking all about how WrestleMania was going to happen this weekend. So it was all right, but kind of forgettable. Wednesday, I know Wendy won, so she got a title. That was cool. I know that the dime piece was out there talking a lot of trash because a lot of people were trying to come towards him now. So he has a beef, I believe, with I want to say the Vanity Project. I don't know. He got beef with somebody now, so that's going to be interesting development as we go along. He had just beat Starboy last week, so he kind of like was doing his little speech about that. That now that he's the one with the belt, everybody's gonna be coming for him. So it's just really all about that. Did get to see my guy Cappuccino Joe, but as I said, it wasn't a bad episode. Wasn't overly memorable either. Let's see. Going to Thursday. Now this Thursday TNA. I'm going to preface this. So I do enjoy TNA, but I'm having a really hard time trying to follow the stories. Like I'm just having a very difficult time trying to follow the stories. And as much as I like watching a lot of the stuff in ring, um, I still, at the end of the day, feel like TNA does have the one thing that a lot of the other brands put a lot of care into, which is the story. So, like, I kind of really, other than the Leon Slater build up between Eric Young and all of them, I didn't really know what was going on with too much of anybody else that night. Like, I'm not gonna lie to you. And that's crazy because I've watched probably the last month or two's straight of TNA's. But I, truth be honest, like, yeah, I didn't remember most of the storyline on that. So it was kind of one of the weaker episodes because of the fact that a lot of this was storyline driven this week, but I didn't know the storylines because they hadn't put enough time into them. That being said, though, I always liked my guy Leon, and Leon he joined up with Moose, so then they had a fight towards the end of the episode, and that was straight. I kind of like their chemistry. Him and Moose are obviously different folks. One's from over the pond, and one's from here in the land of simple living, aka Maryland. Um, but yeah, it was cool. As I said, no complaints, no complaints, never complaints. Moving on to Friday though. So Friday, we had Trick, doing the build up, and I'm not gonna lie, a lot of the episode, I was starting to feel like maybe Trick's not gonna possibly win this weekend because that was always the issue for me was that once we knew that this was going to be what we're going to see at WrestleMania, I kept going back every forth, probably every day about is it going to be Trick, is it going to be Sammy, is it going to be Trick, is it going to be Sammy, because there was a lot of breadcrumbs seeing the both. So I was actually glad that it ended up more or less being a surprise on Sunday of who won between the two of those. But back to what was going on. We saw Sammy and the gingerbread man because Lil Yachty was, quote unquote, injured from the last match. So he brought out the gingerbread man who was doing all of Sammy's stuff. He was even doing the dance, the little, I don't know, charge up his feet move before he does a little, let's go. Yeah, gingerbread man was getting it in. Um, and he was absolutely hilarious. Sammy came out and he says, two gingerbread men out here. Um, I said everything was cool. Everything was cool. Like, only thing that was really the weak for me again is Randy. Randy was kind of the weak point for SmackDown, surprisingly. Like he was just definitely like a weaker portion of the show for me. But Jade had more back and forth with Rhea, and then Rhea had a match as well. Like so that was kind of forgettable. Um, am I gonna give a grade for the week so far, or am I gonna give a grade and including WrestleMania, or just give two different grades?
Don't include WrestleMania. So we
Okay,
gotta
so I'll
include
just do my
AAA.
grade for the week then.
Include
Okay, so
AAA as well though, if you
okay, I
saw it.
was gonna move on to AAA. Um, so AAA, as y'all know, we did do a in-person watch along for WrestleMania night 1, night 2. So I didn't see AAA until I actually checked out the highlights, and I'm kind of glad because it really wasn't too much that I'd really need to be worried about going on there. And as I said, AAA is one of the high shows of the week, and the highlights were highlights. They were good because they were highlights. I didn't get to see any of the malfunctions of what happened during the match, and that's always the benefit of I mean the disadvantage of not being able to watch the show live is that there's all that stuff that they usually don't always talk about on the actual shows when they do their recaps. Like they'll cut out the botches and like all the other stuff. So sometimes you don't even know stuff happened. But as I said, AAA was AAA. I can't complain. I see they trying to do something with the War Raiders over there. So kudos to them. Uh yeah. So I'll give the week without WrestleMania a B plus. It would have been a B minus for me, but as I said, there wasn't really anything to bring the shows necessarily terribly down. And as I said, Raw was good, was pretty good this week. So SmackDown being pretty decent kind of made it balance. But I definitely was getting tired in all of them because these wrestling shows got to start an hour early or something. Like I really appreciate that. But yep, B plus from me.
All right, we start off with a B plus. Travis, let me go to you. Travis, what were your highs and lows of this week's WWE product, and what is your overall letter grade?
So for Raw, man, I didn't want to think Raw was completely trash, but it wasn't really that good to me neither. Um, Raw, the promos was basically better than mostly all the matches this week. Roman Reigns cooked CM Punk. Oba, he had his moment on the mic. Rusev, he had his moment. You know that he wasn't going to win the ladder match, but he basically had a moment during the week. Really, also, like another thing too for this week entirely is that everybody that made some type of media appearance, whether it was on another podcast, show, ESPN, whatever, they seem better than everything that was going on within wrestling this week leading up to WrestleMania. That's just up to me. Like that's just me. But anyway, for TNA, I mean not TNA. I'm sorry, NXT is. I love the moment at the end with Lola Vice and all the women coming out and appearing. It was shocking to see Callie also out there first, but I enjoyed it. I liked it, and everybody else that showed up and appeared. Joe Hendry, he had a concert. Now he's starting a new feud with Keanu Carver. That's cool as long as it ain't Jasper Joy or anything like that, because he's going to get black screen and all that. But another thing too also is that I feel like I'm about to get ready to miss something. There you go. But anyway, like I said, during the kind of moment, Booker T's just killing as usual. My favorite moment for real. And for Evolve, nothing too memorable for real, except for just Wendy Chu winning the women's Evolve Championship. Congrats to her. Nothing really memorable for that. Now, I do apologize to everybody that I have not said no total nonstop wrestling this week. So I'm sorry about that. I ain't saying anything. So let's just go over to SmackDown. Now, I was right with my prediction. I called it last week. Royce Keys was going to win the Andre Giant Memorial Battle Royal. Like, you know what's going to happen. I love the moment right here on the screen with Trick tricked Sammy and the gingerbread man. Can't Sammy kick the hell out the gingerbread dude guy, whatever. Now, Solo also still my boy's moment, Tama moment for getting the dub this week because I wanted to at least see the cutthroat for Tama, but if this is going to happen between Solo and Tama, we just need to hurry up and have the match already at Backlash, soon and as possible. Now, for AAA, this is just AAA. Now, it didn't feel like it wasn't like bad or good. It was just like I think because I was missing like Corey and Rey Mysterio. Like I get it because they was dealing with WrestleMania and everything. So it been just saying kind of average. Like I wouldn't call it bad. Now I see that there is some friction now, I guess, between the whole Psycho Circus crew, I guess, between what's that? Was Psycho Clown and Pagano. So I think that's something to look out for. And I think that Americano, he had a moment backstage with I can't remember the guy's name, but he had on, I think it was the Texan or something like that. He had like a little cowboy hat or whatever. So I guess they got in a build up for a match, a tag match. I believe that's going to happen either next week or either further at some point down the line. But I guess there's something to look out for between now and this mass versus mass match. But for this week, well, I'm not gonna say nothing about the WrestleMania, but I'm gonna have to give it a D this week. Pause.
I feel you. All right. So we got a B minus. We got a D. Let's go to you, Mr. Green. What's your overall letter grade for this week's? Well, highs and lows and overall letter grade for this week's WWE product, bro.
First off, Raw. Oba, fantastic promo. That's what you want to hear. He's different than everybody else. And he can definitely talk. So that's definitely a positive for his character. But after that, I think everything else kind of fell on his face for me when it comes to Raw. But we know what it was. It was all, building to WrestleMania. I didn't expect it too much of anything. Similar to SmackDown as well. I guess NXT, the women's side was very entertaining. You're starting to see the players when it comes to the next championship contender. I didn't see Kalani and Jada though. I think they fought earlier than on that card, so that was cool. But you saw Kendall Gray, you saw Kelly Armstrong. She made a debut. I loved every second of it. Her move is very similar to it was a guy in TNA. It was a black guy in TNA. His name escapes me right now, but he was doing a shoulder tackle like that, and he was very impactful with it. So if she can kind of freak it, and then hopefully the people sell it, because homegirl that she fought sold the hell out of her, landed on her head. So that's what we need to see. I ain't trying to say everybody need to land on their head, but you got to sell it. You got to sell it, or she got to change it. So
is it a pounce?
People sell it. Yeah, the pounce.
Okay.
So we're gonna see about it, see how it takes. She has time to tweak it, or change it herself. Jada Parker done changed the move about 2-3 times until she found the right one, and this is the one that she found. It's very devastating. With that being said, we're gonna move over into Evolve. Evolve is one guy that's starting to showcase his dominance, and it's not the champion. It's a guy named Dorian Von Dux. He has the prototype of a British Bulldog. Mind you, British Bulldog was never WWE champion, but that's the type of build that he has. The same height, same weight, same muscular build. Hopefully without I'm not going that route. So, but he's athletic. He's a high flyer. And he's been on he's won all his Evolve matches. He showcased on and I think he lost that match against Eli Knight, but he was like, all right, he's he could be one to look out for. So if anybody that's has any type of potential that's left in Evolve that's could be on the come up, it will be him. I will say that 100%. And he's 29, so he's pressing it. You know what I'm saying? So he still got a little bit of time, but you know, he's an indie guy, so he came there to hopefully get through Evolve to go straight to NXT and then see about his business. I know we're constantly asking, is there anybody worth looking at right now? That's the only guy right now, in my opinion. Shout out to Winnie True for winning the match, but I think she can go as far as NXT. I don't see her pushing too far past that. Just it is what it is. And that's about it when it comes to Evolve. I didn't see TNA, and like I said, let's talk about SmackDown for a little bit. God, SmackDown was bad. So Trick once again. Now he's bringing out the gingerbread man. That means he can take something, and it could be just as simple as the gingerbread man, and literally come up with the whole gimmick and everything else to it. That's called creative talent. And you could tell he probably came up with it. Maybe somebody put it in his head, but more likely than not, I'm gonna trust that Trick came up with it. So he's just a phenomenal guy when it comes to just being creative. And this is a night I don't think he was bringing out the gingerbread man in NXT. So this is new. And his creativity is off the chart. So shout out to that. I guess the Wyatts and all that. Thank God, I think that's done. Hopefully, not Wyatt situation. No more MFTs. I hope they break this up. They starting to have little cracks in the foundation. Please destroy all this. I think that's about it. Like I said, it didn't necessarily do too well for me when it comes to SmackDown. And AAA was okay. Nothing to write home about. They knew people wasn't going to be really checking for TNA like that. I mean, AAA like that this upcoming week. So I think all in all, like I said, it wasn't too many highs. It was mostly lows. Honestly, I don't think nothing really stood out for me this whole entire week. So if nothing stands out, then it gets an F, right? So I'm going to go give it an F for the week. Damn, I wish I could give it more.
B minus. D plus, Travis, right? Okay, D plus and an F. I don't got much to say. Yeah, I didn't care as much about WWE week at all. Shout out to Oba. He was the highlight of Monday Night Raw. Him grabbing the crowd. We said Brock and Batista throwing Goldberg as well. That whole big man, he's just revolutionizing the big man in general. Any of them big men you can throw at them, dominant dudes. That's over right now. He's taking over the game. The promo game between Punk and Roman, it was all right. I would have called it trash. I'm gonna call it all right until I get to Friday. So it was all right. But like you say, on Monday, really didn't have much to talk about. I really don't got much to talk about for this whole week. NXT, I really don't care. I didn't really watch it. I didn't watch this stuff in the middle of the week. I was getting prepared for this little WrestleMania thing and all. Wednesday, shout out to Wendy for winning the title, but again, I don't care about developmental right now. They got to decide what they're going to do with that and how they're going to move forward. Impact, I did see the final match where Cedric Alexander did get the win. I don't know if they're going to actually give Cedric the victory to take the X Division title off of Leon. Probably not, because he's been getting the pinfalls over him, but they got a little nice rivalry going on between them two. But the rest of it, who cares? Mike Santana does nothing for them. So again, as long as he's their champion, and you're representative of your champion. It's just, you go as far as your champion goes. If your champion is that guy and nobody wants to see him, then nobody's probably gonna want to see your company. I'm sorry to say. Going to SmackDown. Highlight of this show obviously was Trick doing the gingerbread man. This show about to become Trick. You're gonna have Trick in the beginning and the end of damn near every show within the next couple months. I see that happening very soon. He's the most entertaining guy on there. It's his show. Like this damn show. You got, and the thing is, when we talk about, I can't wait to talk next week, because it seems like they're doing a kind of a draft in a way, but not a draft, where they're just switching guys up. And I'm like, damn, it's just gonna be Trick by himself over there on SmackDown to take care of SmackDown. But we'll get to that more of next week. But that's it. The Cody Rhodes and CM Punk promo, one of the worst shits I've ever seen on TV. And I'll touch more on that when we get to actually PLE. But that was trash, straight trash. Nobody wanted to hit them, hug each other, and kiss each other's ass and all. I did not watch AAA. I'm sorry this week, y'all. I'm too busy worrying about WrestleMania and all. Didn't even give it a chance. I heard it wasn't much to really care about this week, so I'll get back to that next week. But overall, since BA gave it an F, I'm not gonna give it an F. I didn't see enough of it. I would want to give it an F or a D or so, but I'm gonna give it an I for incomplete. So I'm gonna take the easy way out and give it an I for incomplete. Queen gave it a B minus. Travis gave it a D plus. Mr. Green gave it an F, and I'm going to give it an I. So that's our week of WWE.
I gave it a D. Pause. Not no plus.
Okay, just a regular D.
Just D.
All right.
Yes.
So
pause.
A B minus, a D, pause, a F, and an I. So I guess let's go, Travis. What were our highs and lows brought to the people by?
Where Retail Combats.
That merch. Shout out to the merch, y'all. I'm gonna do it in two parts because we have no tea today. So shout out to the merch if you're interested in any of the merch that we may have. We have a few different options. Definitely check out the link in the description here or on the channel in general. We have the link there as well. 4 different options of shirts you can get. You help out the channel. No, you definitely don't have to, but if you do, we appreciate you much. And with all that being said, y'all know what the highlight of the show is. Y'all know what the main topic is. We gotta get to this WrestleMania weekend. So with that being said, WrestleMania night 1, y'all. WrestleMania is in the books now. It's done. Game over. We got to wait the next year to get another WrestleMania. But for night 1, I start from the beginning. We had, what was it? Jacob Fire, 2 of them started first, I believe. No. It was the Usos and LA Knight versus the Vision and I Show Speed. The Usos and LA Knight actually won that match, and then after the match was over, the Vision turned on I Show Speed, and the Usos and LA Knight actually helped out I Show Speed to take care of them. In the next match, unsanctioned match, we had Jacob Fire 2 going over Drew McIntyre. We had the tag team match between the tag team champions, Irresistible Forces, going against Charlexa, Bailey, and Lyra Valkyria, and the Bella Twins, which Nikki actually was not medically cleared to show up. I don't know how they still were part of the match, but she had a replacement, and Paige returned. So Paige returned, and Paige and Brie Bella are your new women's tag team champions after they won the match. Next, you had AJ Lee losing her women's Intercontinental Championship back to Becky Lynch, who is now a 3-time women's Intercontinental Champion. Gunther beat Seth Rollins in a one-on-one impromptu match in a kind of way, which was only a couple weeks, I think, of build-up. And that was helped by Braun Breaker as well, who returned from injury and helped out Gunther to beat Seth Rollins. We also had the Ladies World Championship match where Liv Morgan has become the new Women's World Champion after defeating Stephanie Valkyrie. And lastly, in the Undisputed WWE Championship match, we had Cody Rhodes retaining his championship against Randy Orton with Pat McAfee by his side and also helping the referee as well. So go around the room, man. We'll start with this night. Queen, what was your overall letter grade? What were your overall thoughts, and what's your letter grade for night 1, I guess? No, actually, don't give it. Yeah, give a letter grade. Give a letter grade.
Oh shoot, nah, I can't see it. I was hoping I could see it. Let me make my screen bigger so I can see everybody on the thing. I'm not gonna lie to you. Saturday was some shit. I mean, the only matches worth watching were 5-2 McIntyre. Really? Yeah, that's really it. I don't even know where to go with this. I mean, Stephanie and Liv was a stupid match. Usos LA Knight, that junk. Was a bullshit match. Cody and Randy. That shit was a shit show. Randy busted his orbital bone open. Like, I watched the AJ Lee and Becky Lynch one. That one was a mess too. Like, you could tell AJ Lee, like, she real I don't know what I want to say. She don't be knowing the moves right, and she need about go on a hiatus herself again and go on stay gone. As I said, the Fatu Drew McIntyre match was probably the most interesting one out of all of them, because even the Gunther and Seth one was just lacking. And as I said, I was really looking forward to the Randy and Cody one, but I was really disappointed because Randy one didn't win, and two, it's just kind of just felt like a letdown. I think we talked about it on the way home. Is that night one was just a letdown. So I'm giving night one for real. I'm giving it a D.
All right. We'll start off with a D. Travis, what's your feelings on night one and what's your overall letter grade?
Man, to kind of piggyback off of what the Queen of the Ring said, man. This was absolutely a shit show. Like nothing really memorable for real. The only memorable part about this night of WrestleMania was Bianca announcing that she's going to be a mother. So, and Montez and Jimmy Uso just ruined women's wrestling. I had to watch that whack match between Liv and Stephanie. So Montez, oh, you know what? I ain't gonna say that. Montez and Jimmy. This night of WrestleMania is all y'all fault, man. That's all it is, man. Because y'all couldn't keep y'all Johnsons in y'all pants, man. Pause. Like you ruined women's wrestling, man. But for this night, I had to give it the same grade too, man. I got to give it another D. Pause.
All right, y'all better than me. I feel like. All right, Mr. Green, what was your overall opinion of WrestleMania Night One, and what's your letter grade, bro?
All right. So the best part about night one was Bianca giving all us an update so we can stop thinking and stuff, speculating. We can stop all that. So the best part is a segment where someone announces that they're going to be out for another year. That tells you that this product was absolutely god awful. So it was absolutely trash. The second F of the night goes to night one, WrestleMania. There was no highlights. There was no highlights for me. I tried with the Gunther and the Seth match. I really did. I went back and I saw the highlights of that joint, slowed it down and all, and I tried. It's just it wasn't no story behind it, so it was just like a match. It was just a match. So I'm not here for WrestleMania for just a match. Live match that should have been fire. Like I was like, yo, this might be the second best match of this card. On night one, it wasn't. It just wasn't. It was no brawling. That should have been an all-out brawl because that's all they was doing. They tried to have someone up with a little wrestling match. And hell, they only had 5 minutes to wrestle apparently, so that's even worse. Just bad. Just bad. I show speed. They did more when the match was over than they did during the match. Then what are we doing? Like I lost track of what they was trying to do throughout the whole entire match. And like I said, the way it started is the way it finished. Now remember I said that because I might repeat myself for night two. The way it started, the way it finished. It started trash and he had something else after the match. Guess what happened? On the last match, it started trash, and he had something after the match, which could have been during the match, which would have made the match more memorable and entertaining. And hell, they could have switched it. Apparently, they decided to go the opposite way at the last second. What are we doing? What are we doing? We don't. And I'm not talking to traffic. I'm talking to WWE. What are we doing? I don't know what we're doing anymore. So with that being said, like I said, I already let it out. Pause. It's definitely an F for me. King, you gave one of the best reviews, heartfelt reviews afterwards. So those that didn't see it, please go back and check it. And all I'm doing is pretty much echoing what you had articulated then. That was raw emotion, and it was 100% like your opinion was the truth in this situation. So I got kind of blew the lead pause a little bit on that one. So I'm gonna let you take over for that. But for me, my letter grade is definitely an F. You can go ahead.
No problem. Appreciate you, bro. So we got 2 D's and an F. Yeah, like he said, you can just go listen to my recap. I don't got much to say about this shit. This was one of the worst. This was the one that almost got me away from this shit again, doing this WWE review stuff again. This night of WrestleMania. This is one of the worst nights of wrestling I ever saw. All the ads, the short wrestling matches, and like you say, nothing impactful, no story driven anything. So there was nothing to make you feel like complete or like worthwhile, like you did something or like your time was worth anything. So it was just like, damn, what am I watching this for? It was horrible. There was no great match. Like I said, my favorite match was probably Gunther and Seth Rollins. Them dudes had 2 weeks to build that up. There was no storyline with that. So for them to have to be wrestling their butts off and give that, I feel like with no storyline, just basically saying, hey, let's just randomly wrestle each other and figure out a way to do this. That was the best. A lot of the matches weren't even trash. It was just the amount of time that was given to the matches based off of management. The last match, though, I feel like if the last match would have just handled his business, it probably would have changed everything. But like you said, BA, you could tell from the beginning how the end was going to be. That last match, a couple things I took from that last match. One, Cody Rhodes is not the guy. Please get that belt off of him, Triple H. Stop it. We got to stop doing this. Not saying he can't be here. Not saying he can't represent. He can't be one of the main guys, whatever. He can't be fighting for the championship. He can. He should not be the guy, though. He cannot be. He's not the guy of wrestling. And if you can't realize that, I don't know what more to say to you. Secondly, Pat McAfee, bro, I don't know what the story was even about. It made no sense. We got nothing from it. Nothing continued from this night at all. And thirdly, Randy may have to retire, man. That's my guy, man. But Randy may need to retire. I need to hear about the back injury, what it was, if it really was that. I don't even know what the story. I don't know who to blame. I left that night after night one on Saturday, not knowing who to blame, how to feel, or whatnot, because I had no clue. It felt like I was just mad at everybody at that night. So until I found out what's going on, I really want to delete this. I felt like this was trash. This shit gets an F minus. Like, I don't even know how far to go. Give it a Z if I can. This is one of the worst. You know what? This is the worst wrestling main event. This is the worst wrestling show I've ever seen. I'm gonna go that far. I know how hyperbole and all. I'm not going that far. Last year, WrestleMania 41 was trash. This one night is worth anything I've ever seen, especially with it being a WrestleMania. This was WrestleMania, and it was horrible. So, yeah, I'm gonna give it an F. I felt like it was trash. I'm gonna reverse it this time. We're gonna start with night two this time. Let me read the results. Obafemi beating Brock Lesnar in a pretty short, entertaining, and dominant match. And to everybody's surprise, after the match, Brock Lesnar takes off his gloves and his boots and walks off, kind of cries a little bit, giving Paul Heyman a hug, waves to everybody, throws up the X, and it looks like he's going to retire. He's going to handpick Obafemi to retire him and leave away, allegedly. They're still talking about it, but that's the way that seems. Second match, you had the ladder match between Dragon Lee, Rusev, Rey Mysterio, JD McDonough, Javon Evans, and the Intercontinental Champion, Penta. Penta retained his championship. Next, you had Trick Williams against Sami Zayn for Sami Zayn's United States Championship. Trick Williams comes out with the victory there, the new U.S. champion. We had in a street fight, which happened out of nowhere at the beginning of the day in the pre-show on Sunday. We had the Demon, Finn Balor versus Dominic Mysterio, and the Demon won that match after coup de grace, shout out to Travis, to Dominic Mysterio through the table. That was awesome. Next, you had the women's WWE Championship match with Jade Cargill defending her championship against Rhea Ripley, and Rhea Ripley ends up winning that championship. And lastly, we had for the World Heavyweight Championship, CM Punk defended his championship against Roman Reigns, with the OTC pulling out the victory and becoming the new World Heavyweight Champion. So, BA, we'll start with you on this one, bro. What were your thoughts on night two, and what's your overall letter grade, bro?
I don't understand the difference between night one and night two. Like, how can programming, booking, and all that be completely night and day? So, night two was much better. How it opened is how it closed. It opened great. Overperformed greatly. Like you said, Brock with a shocking retirement. It seems like more than one person doesn't want to let Gunther be the one to retire them. Shout out to Rey Mysterio as well. So, like I said, Oba did a great job. Brock did a great job. Like, that was 5 minutes of, even if it was 5 minutes of entertaining wrestling. Two heavyweights doing what they need to do. Oba kicking out of the what do you call it? The F5 just hop right up. No sold it.
He didn't kick out of it.
It was a no sell. Which showed his dominance because not too many people have been able to do that. And then Brock getting the 1, 2, 3. Losing from one Oba bomb. So it was like, there we go. He solidified himself as the current phenom in the WWE, and we see how far it goes when it comes to that. It's all up to you. Only management can mess this up at this point. Oba's great. Oh, he's already goated. Next, like, a matter of fact, let me just, like I said, this is highs and lows. Just WrestleMania. The lowest part of the match was actually, the lowest highlight was honestly the Finn Balor situation, the Finn Balor and Dominic. And like I said, this is a creative thing. This was supposed to be a fire match. It was supposed to be a highly anticipated match because we was all waiting for the destruction of the Judgment Day some kind of way. And it wasn't. It was lackluster. Not the match itself. It's the hype around it. They killed it. They buried it. They buried all anticipation of this match. And it's like it's shameful. So the demon couldn't even save it. It's a sad thing. And that's a creative thing, in my opinion. It wasn't the wrestlers. It was them. I guess that was, like I said, the lowest part. The Jade, shout out to Jade, man. I don't, please, and I know everyone on this panel feels the exact same way. Please stop with the Jade can't wrestle. Like, that's just stop it. Stop. It's no need to say that anymore. She wrestled her tail off. It was a great match. Little to no botches. It was just a great match. Like, she did what she's supposed to do at WrestleMania. And hopefully she's not the I gotta go to the back of the line. Hopefully she's the champion and says, okay, I lost, where's my rematch? That kind of a thing. I don't want to see her go. I don't want to see no vacations. I want to see Jay stay in the limelight and to get that title back. So like I said, great match on that. The ladder match, that crowd did not deserve that ladder match. Let me say that. I 100% feel strongly behind that. Like, that's a rich crowd. That's that Super Bowl crowd where the fans aren't really there at the Super Bowl. It's the rich people there. And we get it. We know what time it is. We're not knocking that. But those guys did a lot in that match. All the spots. Everybody had a spot, from JD to all the Mexicans to Rusev. Everybody had a spot. Javon. Shout out to Rusev on that Javon one too, man, because Javon came a little short pause and Rusev gave a little oof. So shout out that because he didn't have to do that. They didn't deserve that match, man. That was a great ladder match, man. And Penta got the victory on that one, so that was cool. We all wanted Javon to win. I wanted kind of Ray to win and continue that Mysterio storyline. But it's cool. I'm not mad at that. And like I said, the last match, I'm probably missing a match, but that last match was just great. That was just it was two guys that literally it felt like Rocky won. Honestly, it felt like Rocky won. Like, it was just am I dating myself by saying it felt like Rocky won? All right, it is what it is. Go check it out if you ain't watch it, right? Go ahead and check it out. Have you ever seen Rocky 1? I'm talking to my daughter. She's sleeping. Okay. With that being said, it was just two guys just exerting all the energy they had, and one guy just fell short. That's all it was, and that's okay. That's cinema, and I didn't get that from Cody and Randy, and it was very similar history, not necessarily the combined history. It was just the fact that if Cody's the guy, Roman's the guy. If CM Punk been in the game for a long time, Randy been in the game for a long time. Very similar rap sheets when it comes to experience, and yet one was done perfectly, damn near perfectly, and the other one was completely trash. That should say a lot. So I love the fact that CM Punk gave everything he had, Pauls. I love the fact that Roman did the exact same thing, and Roman got the victory, and we're going to see Roman's era of dominance and see if it's as equivalent as it was before. So great job. So night 2, A-. Night 1, F. That's right. At night 1, F. Night 2, A-. Yeah, I stamp that.
All right, I feel you. A-. All right, Travis, we're gonna go to you next, bro. What was your overall opinion of night 2, and what's your letter grade?
All right, first of all, night 2, 10 times better as night 1, man. Like, I just wish that the Oba and Brock match would have been a little longer. and then it didn't take one fall from grace to beat Brock. I at least expected maybe 2 or 3 fall from graces, but I ain't mad at it. The result, though, Oba did his thing for real. Trick won the United States title. That's awesome. We pretty much predicted that anyway. I'm gonna agree with BA. That crowd did not deserve that ladder match. That was the match I was looking forward to the entirety of the whole card itself anyway. And we gotta stop this thing too, man. But this Jay can't wrestle and everything. Like Jay can wrestle. I think Jay can wrestle. She probably not like I would say like the greatest wrestler, but she's not bad neither. Now I say something too, and I forgot what's the person's name, but I don't know how he got this comparison. I guess because of the physique or whatever. Like, so this guy said that Jade was like the female version of Lex Luger. And I mean, I don't see it. I think that Jade can wrestle like probably 10 times better than Lex Luger, but that's different. I mean, I ain't had no problems with the makeup guy and Dom Mysterio. I mean, I did pick the guy with all the makeup to win the matches though. But Dom did his thing, hit the 2 cleanest, frog splashes I say throughout the whole show. Now I just had one thing about the main event though. Like, when did it become a no disqualification? Like, here we go again, just WWE just changing matches on the fly and all that stuff. Like, I get it's the main event, but if it came to a point that y'all guys was going to do that, y'all could have just said, like, you know what, there's going to be no disqualification or at least a street fight in the first place. But other than that, though, like, it's not, no gripe or, any bad match or anything. Like, I did pick my Tribal Chief to win the match, though, so that's great. But overall, though, I may have to give it. I'm not gonna go as high as Mr. Green, but I'm gonna give it a B plus.
All right, a B plus is cool. So we got an A minus, a B plus. Chemo Queen, let's get to you, babe. What was your overall thoughts of night 2, and what's your letter grade?
I would have given it higher if Rhea didn't. I would have given it higher than an A minus if Rhea didn't beat Jade. But overall, the whole energy of the night was different. The whole vibes of the night were different. Even though Oba and Brock's match wasn't long, it was still like effective. It did what it needed to do. I was still very surprised. I guess I was one of the few people that wasn't considering him retiring at WrestleMania. But I was surprised by that. The Trick and Sammy match, they made each other look good. Like, Sammy definitely made Trick look great. And as you know, like, there's so many parts of that. Trick coming out in the huge train went viral. People that don't even watch wrestling were just like, "Who's that guy with the train on?" Even the Demon match was good with Dominic and him doing the coup de grace on the table. That was cool. Javon's match, I would say that's probably one of the weaker matches, and it still was a good match. It was still a good match. I just thought it was a little bit weaker. But the Punk and Roman match, it was everything it needed to be. There were moments that it kind of lacked, but I think it comes down to the fact that CM Punk is gassed. Like, I think we haven't really had that conversation yet. But CM Punk, he about done. He about done. He about done. And you can tell it when he has matches because it's not even just specific people anymore. His last few matches that he has had, he has been gassed more than halfway through or sometimes earlier. But Roman definitely carried that match, and I'm glad that he's my OTC again. I'm happy to hear that. And that he's got the championship back. I feel like a lot of these matches that we saw set up good stories for a bunch of different people. Even the ladder match can set up a bunch of good stories for any of those individuals. Oba has more of a clear path that he can go now because he wasn't buried by Brock. Um, Even with Jade has more that she can do, even though she lost to Rhea. And I think that builds up a good revenge story for her to possibly have against Rhea. Um, the Demon coming back was cool because he just left Judgment Day, so it was the right time. I wish they would have held on to that before WrestleMania, so we would have had another surprise. And just like Charles just said on the screen, yeah, I really wish Javon would have won. But at the end of the day, I feel like we were blessed by the WWE algorithm as far as night 2, because night 2 was just different vibes. It was just fun. It was like it was just the chant. The crowds were great and interactive like the whole night. Night 1 was just like, as I said, it was a shit show. So it was just the vibes from the audience weren't great either, and the matches were just poor. But night 2, wholly different vibe. Left WrestleMania happy. I'm glad that all my guys that this was their first WrestleMania had great matches, and I'm glad that Obafemi and Trick both won on their first WrestleMania ever. That's pretty cool, and that's something worth bragging about. So as I said though at the very beginning, I will give it an A minus only because, as I said, the ladder match was probably one of the weaker of the matches, and I also kind of knew that Pinto was going to retain. But overall, even without a Bianca popping out saying she's pregnant, oh yeah, and then also I forgot to say too for night 1 is that I wasn't like a hugest Paige fan, so I kind of really didn't care if she came back. So that's why I didn't name it as a surprise or even something meaningful because it wasn't meaningful. But I was glad that again I saw Bianca. I didn't say that on my night 1 too, but I'm glad, just like BA said, that she can get us to shut the hell up now and leave her alone. Stop talking about her, stop tagging her and all that stuff. She's like, leave me alone. So nah, as I said, night 2 is everything it needed to be. I don't feel like they did any of those people a disservice, even with Rhea and Jade losing. I don't think they did a disservice because she got to show all her prowess against somebody that people like to regard as so great. And since she was able to like kind of show her prowess against Rhea, I think it does set up for her to have a bunch of simultaneous storylines that she could go to from now on. But as I said, A minus.
All right, so we got what's the A minus, B plus, Travis, right? Or just B? Just a B?
B plus.
Okay, so 2 A minuses,
Yes.
1 B plus. I'm gonna give it an A minus as well for night 2. I'm gonna give it an A minus. I'm gonna give you the reasons why I didn't give it an A or A plus. It's them ads and the short matches still. If it wasn't for that, this is one of the best nights of WrestleMania ever, in my opinion. And we kind of thought about that. Could this be if they actually let it be? This is crazy because it was kind of like the beginning of the show when they switched to set designs. It was like out with the old, in with the new. The way they destroyed it, it was like a crumbling. Like, this is over. We about to build, like, and the little electricity and all that stuff came out, and it was like, hey, this is new or whatever, like that. That's what I felt like this night was. This was this old stuff that in night 1 that you don't really care about. We're gonna give it to you. This is BS. And then night 2, we're gonna give you all this new stuff you want and show you who really about to take over this industry. One by one, Oba and Brock. I wish the match would have went a little bit longer as well, but it served its purpose. And then with the ending, it actually made the match an A+ match by adding that on to it. It was more of a story. That's what we talk about when we talk about matches versus storylines. Sometimes a story can add more to the match, which makes it an even more impactful match. Everybody's going to remember this match, even though it was 4 minutes and 40 something seconds long. Because of what happened, this match will be remembered forever. So shout out to Oba, shout out to Brock as well, getting a standing ovation. I hope that's the end. That adds on the Oba story. I don't want Brock to come back because then it's like well, it's not attached to Oba no more that he retired him. So I think this should be the end. Let it be. Congratulations. We already know who Brock is and all, and Oba taking that next big thing. I like that they said that the next big thing, it literally said he took the mantle of that from Brock Lesnar. So that was awesome. Ladder match, it did what it had to do in its time. They showed off, like you guys say, gave spots and all that stuff. I knew it was going to come down to either Penta or Javon. I didn't think Javon was going to win this one right away. And that's cool because nobody takes a pinfall in this one. Javon showed off. He's going to still be in line for this title and all, but Penta just got the championship. He's going to defend it in AAA and do some things with it as well. He's one of their guys, especially for Mexico and all. So I was fine with that result. BA, you didn't talk about Trick and Sammy, by the way. Trick and Sammy, match 3.
I was going to get back around to it after everybody was done, but go ahead. Go ahead. I did forget about them.
Trick and Sammy, though, my only gripe with this match, too short. It's crazy because they actually showed off. Trick and Sammy I was like, damn, they actually giving something. They were outside the ring. Sammy was giving brain busters on Trick on the apron and shit. And I'm like, oh my God, Trick, you taking that and all, taking the haluva kicks in front of his family and all. It should have been a little bit more of a build-up. Like, they were building up that Trick turning into a face thing, jumping into the ring at 9. The fans were getting behind him. Like, you could hear he was having the fans in his palms as well, as far as making a move and actually beating Sami Zayn and all. I just wish they would give it a little bit more time, man. Like, they could have gave it a Danhausen time and all that was something just to build it a little bit. But the result was incredible. Trick won the title. The place went crazy. Like, it is what it is. That's what we wanted. The Dominic and Finn Balor, they shouldn't have said that. I don't think Damon was supposed to be in this match at all, to tell you the truth. I think it's supposed to be regular Finn Balor. I think, knowing now what I thought it was going to happen, he was going to continue with the Judgment Day theme and go through the Judgment Day. And I think the final match was supposed to be the Damon. He was going to announce, or the Damon was going to show up, whatever, and take care of the Judgment Day. But because of the ticket things and all that stuff, they had to give you Damon right now, which kind of messes things up in a way. But we'll see how they go with that one. Like y'all said, stop with the bullshit that Jade can't wrestle. Jade carried Rhea Ripley. Rhea Ripley going through whatever she's going through right now, it's fucking up her program. She's not the same Rhea Ripley. She's not even a powerhouse right now. You saw the pictures of her beside each other, Les. Like, it's a difference. Jade, if it wasn't for Jade being as strong as she was and how she is, she handled that match. She carried it. She controlled the match, being the heel and all that. Everything was Jade Cargill. That was possibly her greatest performance, and she showed off and carried Rhea Ripley, because that was not Rhea Ripley's greatest performance. And that was a great match still. That shows you that if that was a great match, Jade carried it, and it wasn't one of Rhea's greatest performances. That showed you how great Jade was. So I'm done with that bullshit. I was mad that she didn't win, but I was glad that she showcased this. Please put her back in line, and I don't want to hear that nonsense no more. Give her championship back. That's how I feel. Let her beat Rhea Ripley. Give her her championship back. Since you wanted to give Rhea her moment at WrestleMania, it should go right back to Jade, and Jade should get her victory over Rhea. But other than that, the main event, you know what? Shout out to the OTC and them. I expected this match to be, with some shenanigans at the end, somebody interfering and all that stuff. They didn't. They went one mano y mano. My only gripe though with this match, I didn't like the ending. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. I didn't like it then. I don't like it now. I don't like that Roman Reigns fell into the ropes and then kind of weirdly just fell into. It was kind of like a botch in a way. I think he forgot he was going to bounce and then come right back on the Punk. So it was kind of like a set on the ropes for a second, and then out of nowhere just fall on to Punk. That's the same way the other two Shield members lost to Punk as well. But he picked Roman up and then he just fell, and then there's no explanation for it at all. Like, it's just, oh, okay, are you old or so? What is going on? But it is what it is. I didn't like that ending, but other than that, the match was great. Shout out to you, Roman, for becoming that dude. This is now what, you're 39, 40, 41, 42, 4 straight WrestleManias of being a main event and basically holding it down, giving guys memorable matches they will remember for forever. So that's what the guy's supposed to do. Roman Reigns has done that now for everybody for 4 straight years now. So Mr. WrestleMania in a way, 11 times at WrestleMania, and your track record is great for doing that, bro. So shout out to you. Though, like I said, I'm gonna give it an A- because of the ads and all that stuff. This was incredible. This is one of the best. This is one of the greatest feeling WrestleMania parts I've ever had, as far as leaving and being like, damn, this is awesome. We're moving on, and this is what I want. So I'm gonna give it an A-. But with all that being said, BA, what was that part of our Cosmos brought to the people by?
Fanatics.
I think you're right. This I Was Told segment is brought to you by the folks over at Fanatics. Fanatics is the world's largest collection of officially licensed fan gear from all the leagues, teams, and players you love the most, including WWE. You can earn fan cash to redeem them in your orders, jersey protection for when your favorite player is traded or changes teams. They also have an unrivaled selection of authentic fan gear and Fanatics exclusives that are only available on the site. So if you need some merch and are interested in helping the channel, scan the QR code on the screen or follow the link, which is always in the description. Shout out to Fanatics. If you need some products from WWE, they just had their WrestleMania weekend. They got some stuff going on over there. So shout out to them. Shout out to everybody helping the channel. If you do want to go to there, use that link. Go get some stuff from Fanatics from WWE. They're an official supplier. So go over there, handle your business, and use that link and help out the channel if you could. Before I get to the rest of the show, and basically we have no questions or comments. We just had the comments I put on the screen, so we're not gonna get to that. I'll get to the end and let you guys know all the other channels and all the stuff you can do. BA, you want to talk about the Sammy Trick match real quick? Mr. Green, if you're still there. No? All right, well, move forward then. If you're new to the channel, hit that like button, subscribe button, notification bell, everything in between, so you're notified of when we drop these new shows. We normally do these review shows for the week on Sunday afternoons, 3 p.m. CPT for color people time. If you know, you know. But because of the weekend, we had a live watch along and all. We weren't able to do it yesterday either. We did the show today for this past weekend. We'll do another show though this upcoming Sunday for this past weekend, including Monday Night Raw that just happened as well, and NXT tonight. Here's a list of our watch along schedules in case you don't know. Mondays we show Raw. This is on Discord as well. Our link to our Discord is in the description as well as our channel description. So if you are a subscriber to the channel, you automatically get access to the Discord video channel, so you can see any of the video stuff. The links, we can't show it over here, but we can show it in Discord. Please go over there and be a part of our watch alongs. Monday is Raw, Tuesdays NXT, Wednesday is AEW Dynamite on Discord, but Queen does Evolve over here as a watch along on YouTube. Thursdays is TNA Impact. Friday is SmackDown. Saturday is AAA. Also, any PLEs on Saturday, as well as Collision if there's not a PLE for AEW, and as well as any Sunday PLEs we do as well for WWE, and also any major boxing events or MMA events as well. Just make sure you subscribe to the channel, get a link to the Discord, and link your Discord to your YouTube channel as well to get access to all of that. We appreciate y'all so much. Also, for our other channels, do me a favor, follow my guy BA. He's no longer on the screen now, but the other 695 crew, that includes Calvin and Larry on Get Off the Damn Fence, where they talk about everything but mainly sports. They have shows Wednesday evenings. Help them out with their subscriber counts over there, like all that stuff. Also follow BA as well as Rel, Big J, and Will over on Cuz We Geek, where they talk about all things in geek culture and films and television. You can follow those guys over on Tuesday evenings and Saturday mornings. They do shows to help them with their subscriber counts as well. And lastly, the NBA is heating up. It's playoff time, y'all. So Captain Crown Podcast and myself and Rel help us out. We're trying to get to 5,000 subscribers. We do shows every Monday evening and Wednesday evening, as well as Friday mornings. We did not have a show yesterday evening. We were pretty busy, but we'll have another one Wednesday evening, and we'll be back Friday morning as well. So definitely go over there and subscribe if you're interested in the NBA or any basketball content as well. Let me see. Is there anything else missing? I don't think so. Oh, sorry, I didn't even say this. Follow us on We Talk Combat Clip Show, where I got the condensed versions of the shows. I drop them in shorts. I'm going to definitely edit these shorts for this show and have them up during the week until next Sunday. So if you're interested in the shorter versions of the show, definitely go over there and check out our channels, or check out our channel and like and subscribe over there. I think with all that being said, I think that's it, y'all. So I should say for Chemo Queen, that Queen in the Ring 86 over there, for the final Hugo Boss Travis down bottom. Our guy, Heavy Developmental, Mr. Green, who left the channel. Hope he's driving safe. I am Muy Grande Negro Americano for We Talk Combat. So we are the best, brightest, and blackest combat review show there is on YouTube or anywhere else. You can follow us anywhere, yo. We'll be back here this evening for NXT tonight. So if you want to be a part of the watch along, be here at 8 o'clock in a couple of hours. We'll see everybody again for our review next Sunday. And yeah, basically, we're out. Peace. Dun, da, da, da.